Hi and welcome to this session, Effective School Management and Leadership. The 6-week program organized by Markazi Talimi Board, the education wing of Jamaat Islami Hind, New Delhi. I am honored to be a facilitator on board, and today I am going to talk to you, or rather share my views, which are of course supported with my long career working as a teacher and working at a middle level management, and then finally for years at the senior level, and then a past decade I've been working with different schools across the country as an education consultant, sharing my experiences, ideas on how a school could be set, managed, what need to be done inside the classroom and outside the classroom. Two things. What you do outside the classroom will definitely give results inside the classroom, and what happens inside the classroom will give you results in the outer world and the society tomorrow. So let us understand what is the effective method and what is more important for you all in helping yourself and helping your team build your own institution and take your institution to a different level. Because I'm sure everybody, when you started your institution years back or decades back, you all had a vision and you all had a mission in your mind. You put that on a paper and you started working on it. Now, where do you stand? If you started a school 5 years back, where do you stand today? If you started a school a decade back, where do you stand today? If you started a school 25 years back, where do you stand today? The question is something very serious, and you need to reflect on this question and see, where are you? Somebody who started as a teacher, and today if I am standing in front of you and talking to you, addressing the school managements, the senior most level in the school setup. It has taken almost 27 years for me to address this level or this group of people today. I was an ordinary teacher, but when I got the opportunity, I grabbed those opportunities. And the very important aspect which I feel is, I'm sharing my own experiences, because learning was something which was a top priority for me. And that learning which I learned in the classroom gave me an opportunity to work on the ground, and that gave me an experience today to stand and talk to you. So where did I start? Where did you start? And today, if you are leading an organization which has got a 25 years history, what are your achievements? I'm sure your achievements would have been great. Now, do we stop here, or do we go to the next level? It's an instinct that we always look for reaching to our next level. So in our first session, we are going to talk about administration and management, or management and administration. What is management? You could have, we would attend classes on management, we would have heard lectures on management, because if you are a great manager, then your institution is definitely going to have a scale which will take you up. It all depends on the institution's growth, depends on the senior most person in the group. Senior most in the sense, I am not talking about the age factor, I am talking about the head of the group. You call him the chairman, you call him the secretary correspondent, you call him the president of the society, you call him the CEO of the group, different names, but somebody is there who is managing everything right till the down level. What is your contribution to the organization? Before we go on, I have a very simple question for you. If you have been one of the founder member of the institution, if you are working for a group, or if you are a sole owner of your own institution, I want you to write an answer to this. Why did you start your school? You might have started the school 25 years back, and the school would have just been a KG level school, and today it has grown from K to K12. It's a K12 school. You have classes from kindergarten till grade 12, or your school might be from kindergarten to grade 7 or grade 10, or your school might be only a primary school from kindergarten to grade 5. Be it any level is not important. But why did you start a school? I want an answer for this. And you are going to write to me why you started a school. It can be anything. Yes, I was unemployed and I didn't know what to do. I wanted money to survive. Somebody told me if you could start a school, you could earn big money. Good. If that was your intention, please do write to me. Absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong in that. Or somebody would come up to me and say, I today, if I could reach to this position, it was because of my teacher. And as a teacher's contribution, I wanted to pay back to that teacher by setting up a good school on behalf of the teacher. So I started a school, sir. My father had started a school, sir, and I am managing that school today. Fine. Go find out from your ancestors. Why did they start a school? I am sure they would definitely have an answer. They would have started the school so that they could contribute something to the society. Most of them would give you this answer. The big institutions today, every city has got an institution which has got a history of 150 years. Somebody started 150 years and today somebody else is managing it, not from the same family. Moving on to the best of the people in the society. Today, those great people, those great personalities or known personalities in the society are on the board, and that school is being managed by some member. He may not be a family member of the founder member of the school. There are many schools. In your own town, in your own city, you would have a school like this. Or your own school might be like that. So I need to know, why did you start your own school? Please do write to me. According to Paul, who is a known educationist and a management personality, he says school management as a body of educational doctrine comprises of principles, rules, or precepts relating primarily to the techniques of the classroom procedure. That is why I said what happens inside the classroom is more important. And what you do outside the classroom will get reflected in your classroom, and what you do in the classroom will get reflected in the society tomorrow. So, classroom procedure derived largely from the practice. Now, the management books were written by great psychologists, great physiologists, everybody, but all these were written based on their experiences, some stories, some incidents. Today, if I am sharing an incident from my own life, my experiences of 27 years as a teacher, a very simple statement, 27 years as a teacher. What are those experiences? If I put together, that would become a management manual. So your own experiences, you are heading a school, you are managing a school for the last 10 years. If you could put your own experiences, it would become a manual for you. If you could implement that manual in your own school, you will start getting better results in your school. You don't need an Umri, or you don't need an ex-person to teach you a school management. It's all the procedures in your classroom, what you follow, what suits your classroom, what suits your own place, that is important. If you could identify that, that is what we say, it's nothing but a book, and that book, the author of the book is nobody else than you. So he says it's a body of educational doctrine which comprises of principles and perceptions relating primarily to the techniques which you use in your classroom. If you go back and look into you try to see the psychology classes of mine, or you study the different psychologists, what happens in the classroom, the methodologies in the classroom, each child is different and each child understands in a different level. So what level of understanding is required for a teacher and the management? If I start practicing the same methodology in every classroom I go, then I would be a failure as a teacher, because one classroom theory may not fit into another classroom, because there the students are totally different. When I teach a group of students somewhere in a Mysore district down south, in a village near somewhere in Mandya or Mysore, the set of students there are totally different. And if I come back somewhere and start teaching students in a district in UP, be it Ambedkar district, or if I get into a remote place in Bihar and start teaching, or I'm teaching somewhere in a Howrah district, the set of students are totally different, and those rules, regulations, the methodologies will not work in these areas. I need to be different teacher here. So those things together would form a management manual for you. There is another theory. Terry Page says educational management is a theory and practice of the organization and the administration of the existing establishments and system. You already have a system in your school. You have a system for children boarding the bus. You have a system for admissions. You have a system for recruitment of your teachers. You have a system for training your teachers. If these systems are put together, and then you could maintain the same systems everywhere, if you could balance and put the process together, if you could put the procedures together, then automatically that would become your management manual. What is management? Now let us just grammatically, or to get to know the definition, it's nothing but manage comes from the Italian word manager, which means you handle, especially the tools. The tools can be, different. It includes even the human resources. How you manage your own staff, which derives from the Latin word manus. Manus is nothing but the hands. How do you manage? How do you set? The way you mold, the way you give a shape to the mud lot, which you keep it on a wheel, like how the pottery person, the potter who puts a lump of mud onto the wheel and then starts rotating it, the way he gives a shape using his hand, the end product looks so beautiful. So the way you support your staff, the way you support your students, the way you give support to the organization, your end result will automatically be the best product in the market. The French word maçonnement, which later became to be known as management, influenced the development in the meaning of the English word. So here we are working something on managing. Now what I have seen as managing, people saying, yeah, we have started a school, हमने स्कूल खोल लिया है, हमें स्कूल प्रिंसिपल हैं, टीचर्स हैं, हमने सबको रिक्रूट कर दिया है एंड मेरे पास सबसे बेहतरीन प्रिंसिपल और सबसे बेहतरीन टीचर्स हैं, मुझे स्कूल जाने की क्या ज़रूरत है सर, सब लोग तो सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. I have invested money. That is what I say. You have invested money. You have invested time to set that institution. You had given 2-3 years of yours to make sure that that building is constructed. You get the best infra. And when the school started, you just moved out. फिर आप बोलते हैं कि स्कूल चल नहीं रहा सर. Who is the person who is guiding those people whom you recruited? No guide. There's no leader. There's no person there sitting and giving instructions. They are following their own instructions. I'm not saying the principal is not good or the teachers are not good, but they do need support. And that support would come to them only through your own hands, through your own self. That is what managing is. Just sitting at home and calling up and telling the principal, okay, next week do the assessments, next week conduct this event, we'll have a function there, the MLA is coming, some ex-person is coming, a VIP is coming, do this. When something goes wrong, you expect the principal, the teachers to be perfect, and it doesn't suit your needs, or it is not as per your expectation, then you call for a meeting and then start blasting everybody. Where were you when things were planned? Where were you when things were organized? Where were you when things were getting implemented? Where were you when everything was set? You came into the picture when everything was done and you just walked into the program, and you expect, and you and I would walk up to the principal and say, ऐसा नहीं था, मैं जैसा चाह रहा था वैसा नहीं हुआ. बट आप जैसा चाह रहे थे तो फिर आपको बताना चाहिए था ना. This is what I expect. Did you go to the school, sit down with the principal, give a plan to the principal, give a plan to the coordinator? You have not done it. Now when you are not done it, with your own hands you have not built it. You just gave instructions. Put the mud lot, ghumao, wheel ko ghumao, you put the hand, it gives a shape like this. You expect it to be the same way as you would have done it? I'm very sure it is not like that. Right? So, be there. Be there. If you want the best, you be there. Now, management in business and organization this is a general phenomena across the management in business or in organization. What is exactly management? It is nothing but the efforts of people to accomplish a goal, or there are set of objectives which needs to be achieved. Those objectives using available resources efficiently and effectively. There are resources. How do we use those resources? How do we utilize the resources effectively, efficiently, to make sure that your organization is one of the best organizations? I am sharing my experiences means the places where I have worked. I started as a teacher in a school, and I had personally seen how the chairman got involved in a day-to-day affair of the school, how he could sit there and talk to the principals, how he could sit there and guide. I was very lucky because I worked directly under him, and every step he taught me how to work and how you could manage things in the school. That learning helped me grow. I may not be as perfect as my chairman, and I am sure I am not perfect. I will not be able to reach up to his level, but definitely I learnt a lot. In another organization, I learned how systematic you need to be, how you draft documents, how you put your plan on the paper. Both the schools, almost a period of 7 to 8 years in each school, gave me that exposure of how resources could be efficiently and effectively managed. Management comprises of what? I just said, you just can't sit at home. Where were you when the planning was done? Where were you when things were actually getting practiced on the platform, on the stage? Did you sit there? Did you look at the rehearsals of the program? Next day, if you say, yes, things went wrong, then I would agree, yes, in spite of planning, in spite of being there, in spite of sitting there, telling them at every stage things gone wrong, then you have all the right to scream at your team members. But you walked in along with the chief guest and you expect things to be perfect or things to be like the way you expect, then I would come back to you and scream. Definitely, I would come back to you and say, you were the person who was supposed to be somebody who didn't set things in place. What is management? These things. Normally there are 5. I have added a 6th one in this. I'll tell you why. And what is that 6th one? Planning. Sometimes we are very good planners. We have huge plans. Hey, why are you buying a 10-acre campus? Why do you need 10 acres of land, 15 acres of land? I want to have a residential school. I want to have a residential block separate for girls, separate for boys, a 6-room, a 6-bedded dormitory with separate attached washrooms. I want to have a huge library. I want to have an indoor gym. I want to have an indoor art studio. I want to have an indoor music studio. Everything. Great planner. You would hire a best architect in the town and get the plan done. You fail at organizing things. You fail at getting the best human resource. You fail as a leader. You fail in controlling things. What do? So management as a full circle. Everything here needs to be done personally by the management person. If I would also say, if there are 5 members in the management in the core group, all the 5 have to be effective. How you do it, you have to decide. All the 5 cannot go and cook. It will definitely turn out to be the worst dish. You need to be organized. You need to decide which department are you going to take care of. If you are 5 of you who have invested in a school, one of you is good at academics, you take care of academics, you do the best planning, you organize things, you get the best teachers, you lead as a best teacher, you control your teachers, and you also start learning. If you are good with administration skills, you become the administrator of the school and control all the academic things, the logistic part. If you are a good finance person, get the finances for the school and manage the finances for your school. If you are a good trainer, you train the teachers and you just be a trainer there. If you are good at branding, you brand your school in the market. Come up with one of the best branding plans. You decide what is your area. I'll come to that. So you need to be, management is planning, organizing things, the best resources you get, leading from the front is what is more important, controlling is important, and then finally the element which I have added is learning. We stop. भाई हमने स्कूल खोल लिया है, मैंने MBA किया है, मैं बिजनेस एजुकेशन MBA मैंने किया है. I know everything. I've read all the management books connected with schools. I don't want to learn. If I had not done my research in the last 1 week, this presentation would not have come up like this today. My 1 week to 10 days effort of reading quotations, understanding, and also working on which presentation, what kind of PPT slide I do use, from where do I get, how do I create this, all these were learned, and then this PPT was created. Why do I need to learn after so many years of experience? Because the audience whom I am going to address are definitely on par or above my excellence. Above my excellence, not below my excellence. If I have to talk to you, people who have been running schools for the last 25 years, what kind of preparation do I need to have before I come in front of you? So learning should never stop. 6 things: planning, organizing, resources, leading, controlling, and learning. Management as on, what is it exactly? Management as an art, science, management as an organization, management as a person, management as a discipline. 5 different areas. Let us look at one by one. Management as an art. The human and public relationships which we need to maintain. When you are on a management chair, as a chairperson of the school, as a CEO of the school, as a secretary correspondent of the school, as a manager of the school, how you maintain the relationships with different people across. You might come across 200 different kind of parents. If you have 100 students in your class, you have 200 different mindset adults. I am talking about the mother and the father with different mindsets. Mother and the father don't come with the same mindset. Different mindsets. So 200 different mindsets of parents, vendors, 20 teachers, 200 students of different age level, your support staff. Everybody, how do you deal with them in the school and outside the school? Delegation of an authority, assigning and sharing responsibilities. You just can't say, okay, blindly you do this work, you do this work, you do this work. It is your responsibility to identify the talented person and give that responsibility to that teacher or that person. You just can't get somebody who is a very good drawer, who is very good at drawing, and ask the teacher to go do some work on finance. Somebody who is good with numbers, you can't ask the teacher to go and do some decoration part in the classroom. Somebody who is good at teaching science, you cannot expect the teacher to go and teach English in a classroom. Somebody who is good teaching Urdu, you can't expect the teacher to go and teach social studies in a classroom. So sharing the responsibilities, those responsibilities to those teachers who are good at that particular skill. Communication. How well do you communicate to your teachers, to your staff, to your people around you? This is where we fail most of the time, dear friends. Communication is what we don't do. We expect people to read our minds. भाई आपको नहीं मालूम था? नहीं मालूम था. They don't know. You are supposed to tell them how do you frame a circular declaring a holiday tomorrow. After 2-3 circulars, then finally you say, okay, you copy paste the same message from the previous one, change the date and change the holiday reason, and then send it to. Then that person would do it. You don't expect it to be perfect in the first time, at the first time. So communication is important. How do you communicate? Do you just call up and say, okay, please make sure that tomorrow you have this program and this program is to be organized at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm coming with a guest. Done. Now what is the program? Who is coming? What needs to be organized? Which group of students are going to attend that program? Where do I arrange the program? I have not got any clear idea. As a principal, I don't know. I would do the best according to what I feel the best. Now, if you have an expectation, it is your responsibility, it is my responsibility as a management of the school to be very clear, specific instructions to the specific person. भाई प्रिंसिपल को बोल दो कल मेहमान आ रहे हैं, ये प्रोग्राम होगा, उनको बोल दो 11 बजे प्रोग्राम शुरू होगा, अरेंज करके रखने के लिए. Now the person who picked up the phone at the front desk will go tell the principal only half of the information. The principal would again call back. I am very busy, I will not answer her call. The next day I walk into the program and the program is completely in a mess. Boss, it's your school. Something has gone wrong is something you have gone wrong somewhere. And that is why these things are important. Managing change. How good are we at managing change? This is an art. And what is the art? Everybody can't be the best in communication. It's an art. Everybody can't be the best in delegating things. It's an art. Everybody can't be the best in getting the best relations with different people in the public, connected to your institution. Delegating things. Who is good at what? This program has been organized by Markazi Talimi Board, and the secretary of this, Mr. Khan, is very good at this. I really like the way he delegates things. He knows where to pitch in and he knows where to get Umri, which platform is Umri good at, and where do I get him for? What do I get him for? Where is Mr. Qasim good at? Kazim Malik. Where is Mr. There are the 3-4 guys, and he's got a big team, and he gets these people. He makes sure that these people travel across the country for different reasons, for different work, but he will not ask me to go do counseling to students. No career counseling by Umri, because he knows Umri is not good at it. Teachers training, yes, Umri ko pakad ke lao. And he's got other team of members also who could do the training part. So delegating is something which I really like in him. Then communication and managing change. The last part, managing change. How good are we at accepting the change? The society was different in 2019. March Second week, the society was calm and quiet. We were just going in a flow. The flow was so bad, it was such a huge rush. Everybody was marching ahead with Zoom. 20th March 2020. Then, things changed. Everything came to an halt. 20, 21, 21, 22. And 22 June, then slowly things turned. Now, after the change in the pre-COVID and the post-COVID, how many schools got closed down? I don't have to give you the numbers. You count yourself in your own city how many schools are struggling. How many of us are struggling? The reason is we are not ready to accept the change, because the world is going towards digital classrooms. The world is going towards blended classrooms. The world is going towards teaching students the skills which are required for them to survive in the 21st century. Are we doing it? नहीं, हम लोग वही पुराने सिस्टम में पढ़ाएंगे, पुराने रिवाज में, पुराने मेथड्स में पढ़ाएंगे, हम ऐसे ही क्लासरूम रखेंगे, हम इतने ही घंटे पढ़ाएंगे. Not ready to accept. This is an art. You need to learn that art. Science. Your philosophy, what is your philosophy in your school? What are the laws in your school? What are the theories and principles which you have set in your school? What are the processes and practices which you follow for your school? Do you have a philosophy of your school? Do you have a philosophy of your school? Something went wrong. Do you have a philosophy of your school? If not, check. If it is not there, sit down. Talk to your group. Come up with a philosophy. What is that you want? Which philosophy do you follow? You don't have to come up with any new philosophy. You can just go back, refer the scriptures and get the philosophy from there. Laws. You don't have to write the laws. It's a very simple. 8:25 I would close my school gate and would not allow anybody after 8:25 into the school. That is a law which I have set, because I want my students to be perfect, punctual. I need to teach them what is time management. And where do I start? I would start that by locking my gate at 8:25. Let anybody come. I'll tell you, there are few parents who had a big fight with me in the last 2 years. The reason was very simple. The principal closed the gate at 8:25. And parents walked out of the school the next day with a TC. I lost students. But never compromise on the laws what you set. That is your management of science. The theories which you follow, the principles which you set, this is my school principle. I would not change it. The theory which I follow, I would not change. This is the curricula, this is what I do in the school. These are the principles which my school is based on. I would not teach my students to by heart the tables, and no class of mine in our school, the school which we run in AP, no student of ours by hearts the tables. The tables are all across the school building. They will do multiple additions and come back and give you an answer within a fraction of seconds. There's no system of sitting and mugging up to 1s or 2, 2s or 4, 2 3s or 6. No. Principles. Our own principles. These principles are not set by Umri. These principles are set by the management, by the core team, and given it to the teachers, given it to the parents, and you better follow it. Processes and practices. There is a practice which we adapt in our school. 10 students are handed over to one teacher, and that is teacher is a mentor for those 10 students. Those 10 students come from different groups of different grades. The teacher is supposed to sit with them and have lunch. The teacher is supposed to go do the salah with them. The teacher is supposed to sit in a week with them for 40 minutes and talk to them, personal issues, talk to them and find out what are the different problems they are facing and see how could they mentor the child, how could they groom the child. Automatically the results, academic results shoot up. That is a practice what we have. I don't allow the teachers to sit in a staff room not a single day. All the 220 days the teacher is supposed to sit with that group of students and eat. And that is where the teacher teaches the eating etiquettes to the children. Teaching on a blackboard, this is how you eat, this is the prayer you say, this is you eat with the right hand, you should not drop food. All these things, you write it on a blackboard, ask the children to by heart it and come, it's up to that. But when you sit with them and have lunch, that is a practice which the students would follow for years. So you have your own philosophy, laws, theories and processes and the practices which you make sure that it happens. Next one, we are moving to organization. There's an error here which I want you to correct it. It's actually not science, it's organizing. Now in the organizing part, the formal structure, basically it's the mission, the objectives, the targets, the functions and the task. What is your mission? What are the goals which you want to achieve through your organization? What are the objectives which you want to achieve through your organization? क्या आपने स्कूल सिर्फ ऐसे ही खोल रखा है कि हम स्कूल में बच्चों को पढ़ाएंगे, या फिर आप किसी एक ख़ास मकसद से इस इदारे को चला रहे हैं? अगर कोई ख़ास मकसद आपके जहन में है तो वो क्या चीज़ है? आप क्या चाहते हैं? आप किस तरीके के आने वाली नस्ल में आप क्या बदलाव, क्या तब्दीली, कौन से चेंजेस लाना चाहते हैं? सोसाइटी में आप कौन सी ऐसी टीम को भेजना चाहते हैं? तो ये सारी चीज़ें आपको ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर एक स्ट्रक्चर, आपका एक गोल सेट होना चाहिए, आपके पास ऑब्जेक्टिव्स होने चाहिए कि अंधाधुन हम ये बखूबी जानते हैं कि एवरीथिंग हैज़ एन ऑब्जेक्टिव, a clear cut reason of why human being is created, a clear cut reason of what is the mission of the human being. Why was a human created? There is a mission given to us. A very written mission is given to us. Similarly, what is the written set of objectives? What are the targets? What are the functions which different level of people working at different level and different functions each person has got? And what is the task? What tasks have you given to your principal? What are your tasks? सबसे पहले आपके क्या tasks हैं उसको देखिए. Then person, the management में से जो है, management again as I said, it's an art, it's a science, it's how you organize, and finally the person. Management may be seen as a person or a group of people. Now you had asked the principal to set a timetable. जून में जब स्कूल शुरू होता है या अप्रैल में जब स्कूल शुरू होता है, जब जनवरी में स्कूल, कई जगह इंडिया में ये 3 महीने में स्कूल शुरू होते हैं. कुछ जगह पे जनवरी, कुछ जगह पे अप्रैल, कुछ जगह पे जून, कुछ और जगह में जो है जुलाई में भी स्कूल्स रीओपन होते हैं. तो उस वक्त आपने प्रिंसिपल से कहा कि ये सारी चीज़ें हैं, टाइम टेबल इसके हिसाब से सेट करिए. 2 महीने बाद आप बोलेंगे फिर प्रिंसिपल को फ़ोन करके कि प्लीज़ चेंज द टाइम टेबल. द एंटायर टाइम टेबल, द एंटायर schedule, the entire working culture in the school gets changed. That is because as a management, you have told, I'm not saying this is wrong, but this is the managerial level, and that instruction has come from, it can come from a person or it can come from a group of people. There's a board, 5 लोग हैं स्कूल के बोर्ड मैनेजमेंट में. एवरी मंथ आप बैठते हैं रिव्यू करने के लिए स्कूल का. तो उस मीटिंग में ये तय किया गया कि बच्चे जब घर पहुंच रहे हैं तो लेट पहुंच रहे हैं, ट्रैफिक की वजह से बसेस जैम हो रहे हैं, क्यों ना हम इसको आधा घंटा पहले क्लोज करें ताकि बच्चे पीक आवर्स में से ट्रैफिक में से निकल जाएं. तो फिर ये डिसीजन लिया जाता है कि हम 7:30 बजे स्कूल शुरू करेंगे और 1:30 बजे स्कूल बंद कर देंगे. Now this decision was a collective decision by the team members. सारे 5 लोग बोर्ड के बैठे थे और सारे 5 लोगों ने डिसीजन लिया. वन पर्सन वुड कम्युनिकेट, एक शख्स उसमें से प्रिंसिपल को कम्युनिकेट करता है. दिस इज मैनेजमेंट. डिसिप्लिन. Now what is discipline? Acquiring knowledge, acquiring skills. The knowledge and the skills what you have acquired will actually demonstrate your attitudes in the management, can be acquired through learning. This is what I had discussed in the 6 different levels of management. प्लानिंग, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, ये सारी चीज़ें मैंने कहा था आपसे इस स्लाइड में, जहाँ पे मैंने आपको क्लियरली बताया. प्लानिंग, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, लीडिंग, कंट्रोल एंड लर्निंग. ये वाला, दिस पार्ट, द लर्निंग पार्ट, इफ यू टेक, कमिंग बैक अगेन, knowledge, skills and attitudes have to be learned. You need to learn how you talk to your principal. You need to learn how you talk to your teacher. You need to learn how you talk to your support staff who is actually cleaning the classrooms and your office room. अक्सर मैंने देखा है इन लोगों के साथ बहुत ही हम बदतमीज़ी से पेश आते हैं, या फिर हम जिस अंदाज में इनको इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं, हम यही समझते हैं कि ये गंदगी साफ़ करते हैं तो इनको वही जगह सही है जहाँ इनको होना चाहिए. I'm sorry, dear friends. These people are also as important as your principal in the school. I'm not comparing here. Please remember, I'm not comparing the 2 designations. I am just trying to put forth one simple statement. The principal is a human being, and the person who is sweeping your own office room is also a human being. And the same blood runs in every human being. If you could be that person, and if you could have that discipline in you, then there's a lot which your children will learn from you as a manager. So remember, management as an art, what you need to do, as a scientific reasons I gave you, organization I gave you, as a person you need to decide what instructions would you give, how you give, and how those things would get implemented in the classroom. Then you have discipline. Basic functions. What are the basic functions for planning, organizing, coordinating, commanding, and the last C, controlling. As a manager, as a head of the manager, or as somebody who was heading the school at the top level, planning, very important. Beginning of the year, what are the different events you are going to do in the school? Do you have a plan? When are you going to have your unit test and examinations? Do you have a plan? When do you start the curriculum? When do you start lesson number 1 and when do you end lesson number 12, the last lesson? Do you have a plan? When do you have teacher training programs? Do you have a plan? When do you get your schools, get your classrooms cleaned? When, at what particular time level in the day would your washrooms get washed? Plan? No. You would just tell the ayahs or the cleaning staff को बोलते हैं कि भाई जाओ आप वॉशरूम साफ करके आओ. प्लान क्या है? प्लान नहीं है. आपने कहा, आपने प्लान किया. आई एम टॉकिंग मोर अबाउट दीज इश्यूज बिकॉज दीज आर द मेजर इश्यूज विच आई हैव सीन इन द स्कूल. द मिनट आप क्लास स्कूल के गेट के अंदर जाइए, मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ स्कूल्स, 90% ऑफ द स्कूल्स आई वुड से डियर फ्रेंड्स, माफ़ी चाहता हूँ, नाक बंद करके अंदर जाना पड़ेगा. दैट इज हाउ इट स्टिंक्स. एंड वी ऑल टॉक अबाउट half of the faith is half depends completely on the cleanliness. Cleanliness is half faith. When there is no cleanliness, half of your faith is gone and we are left only with half. Have you ever given a thought to this? If not, please do it. Planning. Tell the staff, tell the teachers, tell the support staff, tell the principal, this is what you are supposed to do. Principal ma'am, this is what you are supposed to do. Your examinations have to be on these dates at this particular time. Your PTMs have to be at this particular days and this particular months. Your training has to be at this. You would report to the school at 8:15 and you would leave the school at 5 o'clock after all the staff members leave. Have you given a plan? Have you organized things for your school staff? The principal wanted a smart board. Did you get a smart board or did you give a reason why you didn't get a smart board? I'm not saying, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि हर चीज़ जो स्टाफ मांगते हैं उस सारी चीज़ों को आप प्रोवाइड करिए. But have you organized? No. Have you coordinated in the planning? Have you sat down with the principal and given a complete plan? Did you be a commanding officer when there were some important programs? There was a grade 10 exam, students are attending exams in the next 1 week. What instructions did you give? What was your experiences did you share? Commanding, planning, POCCC. Planning नहीं किया आपने. When you don't do the planning, organizing will not come. When you are not organized, you cannot coordinate, and when you are not coordinating, you cannot command, you cannot give instruction. पहले आप करो सर, फिर बाद में हमको बोलो. This is what you will get. Then control. Then you can sit anywhere in the country and control. You don't have to be in the school every day. If you could do these things, if you have put the plan, all the 10 months calendar or 1 month calendar is prepared, training has been done, you were personally there, monitored the training part, you gave them all the infrastructure, you organized everything in the school, you gave them the brochures, you gave them the application forms, and then tell the teachers to get the admissions. Yes, organized things, coordinated which teacher is going to do the marketing, which teacher is going to talk to the parents, which teacher is going to do the entrance exam, which teacher is going to complete the admission process, who is going to take the payment, who is going to give the receipts, who is going to take the child into the classroom. Did you coordinate and delegate things? Did you give instructions to the principal of this is how the admission process is to be done? The parent would come, the reception would receive the parent would be taken around the school, a school trip would be done. After the school trip is done, you would come back to the reception desk, fill the application form, the initial inquiry form, and once the initial inquiry form is done, then the route trip is done, the trip is done, then the basic things are explained to the principal, then there is an entrance test. If it is to be done, what date it was to be done, then you would fix a meeting with the principal. The meeting is done by the principal. Once it is done, then the principal agrees that yes, there is a seat and the child can be given admission. if all these instructions were clearly put on a piece of paper as a manual and then given it to the principal, and if the principal has followed it, fine. If it is not followed, then you go back and ask the principal, why was it not done? सर आपने नहीं कहा था कि मुझे एंट्रेंस एग्ज़ाम लेना है, आपके इंस्ट्रक्शंस में ये नहीं था इसलिए मैंने नहीं किया. You cannot go and ask the principal, why didn't you do the entrances before the student was taken? You didn't tell us to take admission fee, sir, you only gave us instruction to take the tuition fee. हमने सिर्फ tuition fee लिया. Right? So the instructions didn't go. Controlling, you were not there to control things. So, planning, deciding what needs to happen in the future and generating plans for action. This is important. We all make good plans. We are very good planners. But action, zero. So make sure that आप जो plan बनाते हैं वही plan बनाइए जो आप कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको करना नहीं है तो then please don't put it on a paper. And वो चीज़ें करिए डालिए जो आप कर सकते हैं. Please put it on a paper. Plan those things which you could do it. Otherwise don't do it. Making sure the human and the non-human resources are put into place. Every inch in the school, see how you can use it. हर कमरा, हर जगह स्कूल में किस तरीके से आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं उसकी प्लानिंग करिए आप. सीढ़ियाँ भी इस्तेमाल की जा सकती हैं. एवरी विंडो, हर विंडो इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है. हर दरवाज़ा इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है. आपको सिर्फ गूगल करना है क्लासरूम डोर्स, क्लासरूम विंडोज़, क्लासरूम स्टेयरकेसेस पे किस तरीके से लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. दैट इज़ व्हाट इज़ मैनेजिंग योर ह्यूमन एंड नॉन ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज. विच टीचर इज़ गुड एट क्रिएटिविटी, उस टीचर को बोलिए कि इवेंट की डेकोरेशन इस टीचर को देंगे, ये टीचर करेंगे. ये टीचर, दिस टीचर इज़ गुड एट स्पीकिंग, सो प्रोग्राम में एज अ स्पीकर दैट टीचर वुड स्टैंड एंड डू द अनाउंसमेंट्स. दिस पर्सन इज़ गुड इन हैंडलिंग पेरेंट्स, पेशेंस बहुत है, सब्र बहुत है इस टीचर के पास, तो ये टीचर पेरेंट्स से बात करेंगे. So all these things, coordinating, creating a structure through which an organization goals can be achieved. You have to create a structure. Coordinate करके एक structure बनाइए कि प्रिंसिपल हैं, प्रिंसिपल के बाद कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं, कोऑर्डिनेटर्स के बाद टीचर्स हैं. अपनी अपना काम इन लोगों का, दिस इज़ व्हाट यू आर सपोज टू डू. टीचर ये काम करेंगे, कोऑर्डिनेटर्स ये करेंगे, प्रिंसिपल वाइस प्रिंसिपल ये करेंगे, स्कूल का मैनेजर ये करेंगे, प्रिंसिपल ये करेंगे. कमांडिंग, डिटरमाइनिंग व्हाट मस्ट बी डन इन अ सिचुएशन एंड गेटिंग पीपल टू डू इट. सिचुएशन क्राइसिस, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रेजोल्यूशन या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट मैनेजमेंट या क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट, ये सारी चीज़ें हैं. हाउ डू यू हैव यू गिवन देम कि इस सूरत में ये काम करिए, इस सूरत में ऐसा करिए, ये चीज़ होता है तो ऐसा करिए, एडमिशन्स के लिए पेरेंट आते तो इस तरीके से करिए. डिड वी गिव दोज इंस्ट्रक्शंस? दैट इज़ व्हाट आई सेड, गिव द इंस्ट्रक्शंस टू द पेरेंट्स, टू द टीचर्स, टू द प्रिंसिपल, एंड देन यू कंट्रोल. चेकिंग द प्रोग्रेस, उसके बाद आप बैठ के चेक करिए व्हाट इज़ द प्रोग्रेस हैपनिंग. प्रोग्रेस में अगर गड़बड़ है फिर वापस आइए, मतलब आपकी प्लानिंग में गड़बड़ है या फिर आपके ऑर्गेनाइजिंग थिंग्स में गड़बड़ है, फिर या आपके कोऑर्डिनेशन में गड़बड़ है, फिर या आपका इंस्ट्रक्शन जो गया था उसमें गड़बड़ है, तो इसीलिए आपको रिजल्ट्स नहीं आ रहे. आपने प्लान नहीं किया कि एग्ज़ाम कब कंडक्ट करना है, आपने प्लान करके ये नहीं बोला कि एडमिशन्स कैसे करने हैं, और आखिर में जब आपने रिजल्ट्स देखे एडमिशन्स ही नहीं हुए. क्यों नहीं हुए? बिकॉज आपकी प्लानिंग में गड़बड़ थी सर. आपकी प्लानिंग में गड़बड़ थी मैडम, आप वापस जाके प्लानिंग देखिए। वो नहीं करता है, हम अपनी गलती कभी नहीं देखता। ऑब्वियसली वी कैन नॉट सी योर बैक, बट डजंट मीन दैट यू डोंट हैव टू सी योर बैक। You have to find your ways on how you look at your back, means how you look at your mistakes. Basic roles. What are the basic roles? सबसे पहले interpersonal, informational और आखिर में decisional। 3 रोल्स आपको प्ले करने होंगे। इंटरपर्सनल में इंफॉर्मेशन, फ्रॉम द डाउन, इंफॉर्मेशन, रोल्स दैट इन्वॉल्व हैंडलिंग, शेयरिंग एंड एनालाइजिंग द इंफॉर्मेशन। आपका रोल इंफॉर्मेशन देना है, शेयर करना है, एनालाइज करना है। फिर इंटरपर्सनल, roles that involve coordination and interaction with employees. आपको आपके स्टाफ के साथ कोऑर्डिनेट करना भी है, इंटरेक्ट करना भी है, फिर आपको रिजल्ट्स मिलेंगे। You will have to coordinate. You will have to sit down with the principal. If required, you will have to sit down with the entire staff once a month. Talk to the teachers and find out what are their problems. Where share the information. You have something, अगर आपको कहीं से कोई वीडियो मिली है जिसमें टीचर्स ट्रेन हो सकते हैं, शेयर इट, एनालाइज इट एंड शेयर इट। इंटरेक्शन विद एम्प्लॉयज आपको करना है। इट्स योर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड इट इज़ योर डिसीजन वेदर यू एक्सेप्ट व्हाट द टीचर सेज और नॉट। कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि सम टीचर में वॉक अप टू यू एंड स्टार्ट गिविंग कंप्लेंट्स अबाउट द प्रिंसिपल। Some teacher may walk up to you and start giving complaints about the coordinator. But you as a manager of the school need to decide what the teacher is saying is right or wrong. And that is what is decisional. Roles that require decision making. You will have to decide what is right and what is wrong. Most of us as management heads fail at this level. We tend to listen to some person and then take action against somebody else based on the decisions, based on the information given by some person. अब ये भी हो सकता है कि उन दोनों के बीच में कुछ अनबन हो, and that person A would have given a complaint against person B, and आपने person B को निकाल दिया. Whereas if you had done some inquiry, investigation, then you would have known where the problem was. So you have to be very clear and your decisions have to be quick. एग्ज़ाम कंडक्ट करना है सर, क्या करें, इस वीक करें कि अगले वीक करें? 1 महीना बाद आप पाके नहीं बोल सकते कि सर ये अभी टेस्ट लो या अभी एग्ज़ाम कंडक्ट करो। ट्रेनिंग करनी है सर, टीचर्स आर नॉट डूइंग वेल इन किंडरगार्टन, ठीक है, 1 महीना बाद आके बोलेंगे कि आप ट्रेनिंग करेंगे, तो 1 month इज गॉन। सो योर डिसीजंस हैव टू बी करेक्ट, योर डिसीजंस हैव टू बी क्विक, टाइम फ्रेम के अंदर होने चाहिए, एंड यू शुड बी द डिसाइडिंग अथॉरिटी। इफ़ यू नीड टू गो बैक एंड चेक विथ योर बोर्ड मेंबर्स, आप वापस जाइए बोर्ड मीटिंग में और वहाँ पे अपने प्रॉब्लम्स रखिए, वहाँ डिसीजन लीजिए, उस डिसीजन को लेके फिर वापस वहाँ का डिसीजन लाके फिर प्रिंसिपल को सुनाइए। दिस इज़ योर जॉब। This is your job as a management head. Yes, you have invested in your school, this is your school, this is your money, you are the boss of the school, but what is your job? All this. Skills, what skills do you need now? भाई हमने स्कूल खोल लिया, हमको कुछ नहीं चाहिए, हम सब कुछ सीख गए। इफ दिस इज योर एटीट्यूड, स्विच ऑफ योर मोबाइल राइट नाउ एंड गो एंड मैनेज योर स्कूल इन योर ओन स्टाइल। डोंट लिसन टू मी, डोंट लिसन टू एनीबडी एल्स ऑन द अर्थ। अगर आप ये समझते हैं कि हमने सब कुछ सीख लिया, हमको कुछ नहीं चाहिए, फिर इमीडिएटली आप इस वीडियो को बंद करिए और आपके वापस जाके अपने स्कूल अपनी तरीके से संभाल लीजिए. You have all the rights to do this. No, if you really want to learn, say what you want to learn. Number one, political. I'll tell you what political is. I'm not asking you to become an MLA. I'll tell you what political is. Number two, conceptual. Number three, interpersonal. Number four, you need to be a diagnostic, you need to have diagnostic skill. You need to have leadership skills. Number five, that is, let's see number six. Leadership has got repeated. I'll come back to it. I'll tell you what it is. This is actually technique, right? Political, used to build a power base and establish connections. Political means it is not something connected with politics of the country or the society. It's more on how you build your power base. As a management, you need to have that power in the school. You are the decision maker. You decide, it has to be done. Yes, the right things, not the wrong things. You need to have connections. You need to know strong people in the society, because they are the ones who are going to help you build your school and take the school to the next level. Used to analyze complex situation. You need to be very clear with concepts, that is basic things. आपके पास वो सारी बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए. You need to have all those basic things so that you could analyze where things are going wrong. This skill you have to learn. अभी मैंने कहा कि some teacher comes to you and complains about another teacher. एक टीचर आके आपको दूसरे टीचर के खिलाफ कुछ बोल के जाती हैं. क्या आपके पास उस दोनों टीचर्स की बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन है? अगर है तो फिर उसकी बेसिस पे आप एनालाइज करिए कि सिचुएशन कहाँ प्रॉब्लम में है. फिर आप डिसीजन लीजिए कि कौन सी टीचर को किस तरीके से बात करेंगे, या कौन सी टीचर को आप रखेंगे या कौन सी टीचर को आप निकालेंगे. Used to communicate, interpersonal. You have to be strong with your team members. आप कम्युनिकेशन में स्ट्रांग होने चाहिए. You should be a motivator. इसीलिए मैंने कहा था कि वो जो सिक्स्थ वाला जो था, जो सर्कल में मैंने बताया था कि लर्निंग इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, एंड लर्निंग, थ्रू लर्निंग ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू बी अ गुड मोटिवेटर, यू विल बी एबल टू बी अ गुड मेंटर, यू विल बी एबल टू बी अ गुड डेलीगेटर. You have to motivate your teachers. You have to motivate your mentor. Remember, याद रखिए, आपके पास 20 टीचर्स हैं और 20 टीचर्स 20 डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ आपके स्कूल में अंदर आते हैं रोजाना. 20 teachers with 20 different situations. Somebody's husband is not well, somebody's child is not well, somebody's got a financial problem, somebody's parent is not well, somebody's house, somebody passed away yesterday. Somebody is writing an exam and the exam she got as a teacher, she wrote an exam, उस एग्ज़ाम में वो टीचर फेल होके आ गई. अलग अलग प्रॉब्लम से टीचर्स आते हैं. Some parent would have screamed at that teacher at the gate. तो उस टीचर को किस तरीके से मोटिवेट करेंगे आप अपने पास स्कूल में रख के पढ़ाने के लिए. How can you be a mentor for those 20 teachers? आपने क्या सीखा आपके 25 साल की ज़िंदगी में? What is that experiences you had which you could sit and share with your teachers? How many of you have done this in the last 1 year? How many managers in the school who are listening to me have sat down with your teachers and the principal in the last 1 year and shared your experiences? If you have not done it, please do it. The top one, the ability to visualize most appropriate response to a situation. Some कोई पेरेंट आ गए, किसी वजह से भड़ास निकाल रहे हैं अपने पास, प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर जम के लड़ाई चल रही है, आप वहीं पे हैं, तो what is your role as a manager and how do you handle this situation? Diagnostic, किसकी गलती है वहाँ पे? Diagnose करिए प्रॉब्लम को, and as a doctor a successful doctor is the only one who will be able to diagnose what exactly is going wrong in the human body with that patient. Diagnose करने के बाद जो डॉक्टर इलाज करता है, that doctor is a successful doctor. So diagnosing is more important. आपके प्रॉब्लम, आपके स्कूल की प्रॉब्लम को डायग्नोस करिए, फिर आप उस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर पाएंगे. लीडरशिप, एबिलिटी टू लीड फ्रॉम द फ्रंट. गड़बड़ हो रही है, स्कूल छोड़ के भाग गए. नहीं, ये प्रिंसिपल ने क्रिएट किया है तो लेट प्रिंसिपल को हैंडल करने दीजिए, मेरा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. टीचर ने बच्चे को मारा है तो टीचर के पास भेज देंगे पेरेंट को. लेट द पेरेंट गो एंड फाइट विद द टीचर. This is not what you are going to do. You need to stand and protect your team as a leader. हाँ, टीचर ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, पेरेंट आके बोलेंगे कि सर मैडम आप उस टीचर को बुलाइए, मैं वाकई में पेरेंट उस टीचर को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ. फिर आप वहाँ से हट जाइए और बोलिए जाइए टीचर से मिलिए, टीचर को अपनी ये बात बोल के वापस आइए. If somebody is come against a teacher, you are the one who want to stand in front and take everything. If the teacher is getting appreciated, you want to move away from that place and let the teacher face the parent. दो चीज़ें हैं. So you need to lead from the front. आप वहाँ बैठेंगे, प्रॉब्लम्स देखेंगे, उस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करेंगे, प्रिंसिपल की मदद करेंगे, then you are a member of the management. लास्ट वन, दिस इज़ एक्चुअली टेक्निकल. मैंने कॉपी पेस्ट किया था तो उस वक्त लीडरशिप को रिटेन कर दिया, तो ये इसको टेक्निक बोल के लिख लीजिए. एक्सपर्टीज इन वन पर्टिकुलर फंक्शनल एरिया. अगर आप कॉमर्स ग्रेजुएशन से हैं, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन से हैं, आपने चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी या अकाउंट्स का सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा है, तो अगर आप अकाउंट्स में एक्सपर्ट हैं तो आपके स्कूल के अकाउंट्स की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आप लीजिए. अगर आप MBA मार्केटिंग किए हैं तो ब्रांडिंग की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आप लीजिए. सो आपके एरियाज ये लेने के बाद मैंने ये आपसे कहा, लेकिन आफ्टर दिस व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू लर्न, यू आर गोइंग टू गो वन स्टेप अहेड एंड लर्न. जहाँ से आपको सर्टिफिकेट कोर्सेज मिलेंगे, wherever certificate courses are happening, wherever post graduation courses happening, leadership programs are being organized, attend those programs and learn. You need to be expert in managing your school, and for that if you have to attend 10 days classes in a year, every year you have to do that. Every day, every year you have to give this 10 days to your institutions. बाकी के 355 दिन, 355 days you sit in the school and manage the school, but 10 days if you are supposed to go and learn, attend some classes, go.